Hi everyone, this is Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. We're going to run the numbers on a rapid Bitcoin to stock market comparison update. Using the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we can see that we're in the bull market phase of the market cycle. Comparing the last market cycle, we have a way to go before we get an exponential blow off top. Looking at investment substitutability, the proxy for stocks, S&P 500 up 33% for the past 12 months, gold down 8%, Bitcoin up 334% for the past 12 months. Looking at global stock markets, we can see that Russia did particularly well, Brazil did well, US and Canada did okay, Norway did well, and you can see there's basically green across the global stock market map. Looking across the sector performance in the US markets, all sectors up by 0.23%. The best sector, energy, followed by financials, then real estate, communication services. The worst performing sectors, healthcare, utilities, materials. Comparing Bitcoin to the stock market indexes, we can see fear, the inverse VIX, recovered a little. When fear leaves the market tends to go up, positive price pressure. We can see the NASDAQ flattened out, Bitcoin up a tick, the S&P 500 ticked up, the Dow Jones more so up, and the Russell 2000 was also up. It's important to understand the relationship between stocks, bonds, and crypto. Stocks are far less valuable than bonds. Bonds have more money in them. Crypto is literally just a little babe in the woods. What typically happens in periods of economic uncertainty, the bond market receives flows from stocks and crypto, particularly stocks. When the markets are going well, money flows from bonds into stocks. We need to be aware of this dynamic. To detect incoming market crashes is really important for crypto. Crypto can get brutally beaten down in terms of price. It may not look like it, but this was a very substantial reduction in Bitcoin's price. And as Bitcoin goes, so does the crypto market. We can notice here in blue this incredible uptick in the bond prices. The yields collapse, bond prices go up. This is really important to understand. In any particular crash, the bond prices, I have the 20-year, the 10 to 20 year, the 7 to 10, the 3 to 7, and the 1 to 3, all on this chart that I share with you every day. We can see that the significant one, the TLT, the 20-year plus, is still under resistance. If this was to take off and go up exponentially, we would suggest that the market would be in trouble. We're not seeing that at the moment. Just remember back to the last crisis. Before the last crisis actually occurred, we had this incredible rally in bond prices and a collapse in bond yields. We also need to look at Bitcoin comparative to bond yields. We can see the bond yields decreased but have now been recovering. This is the 30-year and the 10-year bond yields, and also the 0 to 5 year high yield corporate debt yields. What we're seeing here is that yields are improving. If they collapse through the floor, we would be very concerned. We're not seeing that at the moment. We're seeing the opposite so far, but we have to look at this literally every day. In any form of market correction, the DXY, the US dollar currency index, tends to collapse. It tends to ride up a little bit more as everything is coming down, but then it also collapses. Just bear that in mind. The DXY is currently on an upward trajectory. This is a good thing. In an economic crash, copper, gold, silver, palladium and platinum actually all decrease. They can increase later, but there is a problem when there is a crash. all the money leaves the system, and they are no exception. This is what I mean going back to the last crash between the 13th of Feb and the 13th of March. We saw all the precious metals dumping. It doesn't mean they can't come up a little bit like the DXY, they can, but unfortunately they all crash eventually. This is the 13th of February 2020 to the 13th of March 2020. That's when we had the US liquidity crisis and the shutdown globally. Comparing Bitcoin to inflation expectations, what typically happens, we can see inflation expectations are increasing. When there is a crash, inflation expectations typically break down like everything else. Basically, when people don't have money, they can't afford things, so it makes sense for inflation to decrease. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it increases, but we will go with the probability, as shown in past data, that it does decrease. This is what happened between the 13th of February 2020 and the 13th of March 2020 to those forward inflation expectation rates. They basically fell off a cliff. Comparing Bitcoin to the airlines and transportation indexes, what we see, the transportation indexes, including airlines, was retracing. It's now consolidating. It's had a little bit of weakness in the past couple of sessions, but we've seen positive price repair in the transport indexes and also the airlines. This is what the transportation and airline indexes look like when there is a crash. They literally fall off a cliff. Comparing Bitcoin to oil is very important. Oil is economically sensitive. We can see oil increase recently, decrease, and is now increasing again. When we have a collapse, oil tends to fall off, go and crash through the floor. Literally, in the last crash, oil turned negative. Comparing Bitcoin to public companies with Bitcoin exposure over the past year, we can see Argo blockchain up in front, increasing 2,281%, followed by BitF, Bitfarms up 1,944%, followed by Marathon Digital, Voyager Digital, Hut8, Riot Blockchain, Hive Blockchain, Galaxy Digital, Silvergate Capital Corporation, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, BTBT, which is Bit Digital, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, and coming in last place was Coinbase Global, which lost 26.03% of its value. Comparing Bitcoin to Bitcoin ETFs, the one out in front was BitW, the Bitwise 10 crypto, up 331.67%, followed by Bitcoin up 322%. Following in below Bitcoin, QBTC, the Bitcoin Fund Canada, 21XB, 21 shares, Bitcoin ETP, Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust up 201.26%, then followed by BitC, the 9-point Bitcoin ETF, GDLC, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, BitC, the CoinShares Physical Bitcoin, Purpose Bitcoin ETF, then CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, 3IQ CoinShares Bitcoin ETF, EBIT the Bitcoin ETF, and coming in last place, Osprey Bitcoin Trust. Our community is focused on real wealth. Real wealth is much more than money. It's about inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, plus financial wealth. You can literally have it all. Our community is focused on that. Please make sure to look out for the KS Real Wealth video series. I'd like to thank the very kind community members who have reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thank you so much for your generosity. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto and stock markets, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.